Hello there everyone, this is Iron Mark 3 and welcome back to another part of Final Upgrade. Final Upgrade. Today we are suffering power shortages. Well, actually, to be honest, we are suffering power shortages, we'll try and fix that. But no, this episode is going to be mostly about war. You require those? Sure. That'll be fine. I'll also tell you to priority up to 6 because I want that done ASAP, and there we go. Right. But yes, war is going to be the main thing about this one. We're going to get some sporting infrastructure, get our first warship up and running, I think, and then we are going to gently field test its weapon systems. Is that the appropriate way to say that? I don't know. We're going to do something with it. But anyway, let's get started with some tech and things, because notice the grey bar at the bottom here. I played forward slightly after the end of the episode again, like I did the previous episode, and this is literally just from colonies completing their upgrade requests, and we have 2.5 million XP worth ready to dump into our tech tree. So, we can get new toys. Aha! We're going to need to do those as well, which opens some interesting options. But anyway, first up, comment from Mr. Clint. Great vid, time for combat. Starting with nukes as base grade combat ships, nuke weapons for your first combat weapons. Nice, unless they are antimatter. I don't think the planets are antimatter, but remember the update in the experimental branch is actually redoing the tech tree, so who knows what they're going to do with it. But as for our nukes, we can do that. We've got buttloads of EXP to spend, so let's grab uranium mining, refining, and uranium rods, which is the part we need for nuclear torpedoes. We don't spend a mere 128,000 to get energy from that, so we can actually use uranium for power supply as well, which is actually a very good idea. Grab that while we're at it. And I'm thinking we're going to be a little bit sneaky here, a little bit cheesy, because in the plan of getting more tech, let's get titanium. Titanium. But that thing is, we've got titanium, we've got gold, and with the power of those combined, we can get titanium gold-plated shells, which is the top-tier ammunition for railguns as well. All of this, by the way, and I still haven't got the tech yet to develop lasers, which is still several levels beyond where I've got reached just now with electricity from uranium. So, lasers are very late game stuff. I don't know why. Anyway, grab those. We've spent maybe half of what we want. Okay, moving on. Spent half of that. Let's have a look. See, I want to decide on an appropriate material to build our ship out of. Our first tier starter ship. We've got to do something appropriate, you know, for our very first warship ever. 323. No. 332. Here we go. I want nitinol, because we've seen the enemy ships have railguns and explosions, but we've not seen any lasers, so more resistance to those is better. So let's go ahead and find nitinol in the tech tree. I think that's somewhere down here, isn't it? Ah, there it is. Machine parts, yes. 1 million XP to get that. Oh, it's a little bit too much. Just a little bit too much. 501 million, that'll be 2 million to get titanium gold composite, so that's also not an option. And then I think the other one is this one up here, titanium gold composite. So we can't quite afford a tier 3 material as yet. We can, however, get some tier 2 stuff. Shouldn't be too hard, so let's double check that. We wanted nitinol, so that's nickel gold composite is the next one, I think. Oops. Misclicks, misclicks, misclicks. Nickel gold composite, 221, yes. Which is about average compared to what the other ships around us have. So, nickel gold composite is here. Oh dear, is that the same? it is exactly the same cost to get that one. Boo. Boo, I say. We're going to have to go with something that's got some vulnerability somewhere. I think most of these enemy ships have railguns, so let's go explosive weakness, I suppose. Explosive weakness is... this one, Pharaoh Titan. Pharaoh Titan. Search for Pharaoh Titan. Oh, that's all. Look how much cheaper that is compared to the other options we have. Yeah, tech tree does need rebalancing. But while we're at it, we'll also do a little silly thing, which is we can upgrade our weaponry as well. Let's get extra turret mount. Let's get... we can afford to get some upgrades for these. Oh no, all of our weapons are suddenly able to fire as fast as physically possible. What a shame. And I'll let the game chew on that a little bit. Don't worry. We'll get some more stuff on the way shortly, but as you can see, we are spending so much tech and getting so much stuff. And probably going to cause a power crash, if I'm going to be honest, because this station is barely keeping up with things at the moment. Running all the research is going to tank it badly. In fact, I think it already is. Oh dear. Right, the good news is Big Boss Constructron should come and do this, because I don't remember installing power plants on it. Sorry, power plants? I installed power, I didn't install computers, so we should be able to get this thing built at the very least. And what we've got here is a slight modification on the setup of the dense stamper setup tier 2 with power extension, just like the one running on the carbon planet. But I've also included these off branches to make sure I divert a little bit into storage for trading, because we need these rods for our nuclear missile capability. As you know, we've got to prepare for that and all that jazz. But this will hopefully alleviate our power supply issue as soon as we get some uranium power kicking. All we have to do is make it to that bar, because research rate is slowing as our ships run out of juice. Oh dear. Okay, uranium is starting to be refined. Good. Step 1. Come on. You can do it, buddy boy. You can do it. While we wait for this thing to come up, we do have another comment, actually. From... lots of beeps as we get lots of things installed. Some Southern Sugar. Excellent, you're good at YouTube and this game. I learned a couple of things, e.g. drag trade route lines. To me, the music is too loud. It is distracting when I want to mostly hear you talking. Well done. Thank you for your comment there, and welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen you around on my videos before. Or at least your name doesn't sound that familiar. I'm sorry if that's wrong of me to say. There we go, we get a little bit of power generation, hopefully. Oh! Dang it, I need coolant as well. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Can't run uranium mods without coolant. One moment, I need to fix that. Whoops. Okay, quickly reconfigure to all. Coolant, copy to all. Right. That should be good to go now. Assume I hit the right thing. I didn't. Copy to all, yes. I'm guessing it's because it's not built. Fine. Copy selected. Yeah, it wasn't really set. There we go. Right. Can't believe I forgot that a nuclear reactor power supply needs coolant. Whoops. And as a side note, the upgrades that are coming, I hope that one of the things is that pipes can be set to control directional connections like these newer tubes can. I mean, that's an aesthetic change, but I just have these spaced out this just so that they don't have pipe junctions literally everywhere. So, words. Anyway, yes, back to some Southern Sugar. Part of that's my fault. I do tend to naturally be a bit quiet. I must admit to that. I just need to get coolant, so F, coolant. There's my coolant supply station. Up here, I'll tell it priority 7 that. I want this power plant operational above all else, and... oh dear, this place is out of power. Mothership. You have power, yes. Mothership to the rescue. Emergency battery. That's your name. Actually, maybe I should just rename the ship Emergency Battery. That'd probably be a good idea. Anyway, let's dump 20k into the station. Get it. Hang on, that's the wrong station. Whoops. Note to self, check where I'm going before I do something. Water supply is that one there, actually. Right. Anyway, part of it is I'm naturally quiet. Especially if I'm getting tired, then I get quieter. And so my output is, I admit, slightly variable. Another thing is, for some reason my video renders are naturally a bit on the quiet side as well, so that probably doesn't help. But your comment is, music is too loud, distracting, want to honestly hear you talking. Yours is the first comment I've had about sound balance, actually, but if we go into the sound settings here, if we look, music's actually set to 70%. The problem is in this game, some tracks are naturally a lot louder than others. So if you balance for one thing, it doesn't actually work out that well. Let's see, you want to go back up to here, get the uranium power plant running. I mean, we've got the power, we just don't have the coolant for it. Which should hopefully be on its way because we prioritised it. Unless there's not a trade ship which can take it because all the trade ships are out of power. Actually, that's probably more likely. Yep, trade ship out of power. Fine, I'll give you a power boost. I'll give you everything that the mothership has left. Auto logic is... I'm going to tell it to... yeah. All power. Give it. You are charged. Jump to this. I'll do this transfer manually because I want to make sure it gets through. Oh, that's unfortunate. So apparently I need to... why does it say sell coolant? Oh well. Oh, I know why. Right, it calls it buy and sell because they used to be able to sell stuff to the home planet, as I said, and all that. But it's only working because I'm only overriding one setting at a time. But now if I tell it to sell coolant, there we go. It suddenly just dumps it all into it. Okay, that's what I wanted. Right, uranium. Get out of here. That everything's crashing. And dump all my coolant into... yeah, just tell it to sell coolant. Off you go. Power plant operational. And last thing to do is energy policy. Give to ships. And then suddenly we have another energy supply station which can rapidly start to fill things back up again. It worked! Our economy is saved! Haha! Right. You can go back to being a transporter now. Off you go. Well, I should have seen that one coming, actually. But yeah, I'll try to be... I'll revisit my sound settings in the renders and see if I can check for that a bit better. Just try and figure it out a bit, you know? Are we out of coolant again? We are. Okay, right. Anyway, I'm glad to teach a little bit about this game, but as Happy Hafer said, it's like, this game may have a... that is so loud because so many things are short. Oh dear. But yeah. Happy said the game is a little bit of a barrier to entry kind of thing going on. At least that's how I interpret things. So, that's why I'm trying to like teach things as I go with this game. And me being me, sometimes I just get really distracted. So, as you do. What was distracting me last time is lack of sleep. What's distracting me this time is I'm trying to go in several different directions at once. Like you can see, I'm trying to put these down and mess things up. Right. But I will do what I said, though. We will get back into the action with actual combat, which I think will carry over past the upcoming changes pretty well, because it's about ship design more than anything. Yeah, I want to be there. But what I'm doing right now is just I'm putting extra power storage onto this thing so this thing can build up a massive bank of power to dump out into any visiting ships. And we'll go from there. I'll also set up titanium processing, but that will be an identical station to all the other stations I've done with the upgraded stampers. So nothing special there, it's just like paste it in and off it goes for titanium. Tech unlocks nuclear torpedoes, which is just over here. All I need is uranium rods, which for some reason I think we are making. What do you need uranium rods? Oh yeah, for the nanites, right. Still trying to catch up on our power demands. In fact, I think some more power ships would be a good idea. I'm just looking at all the ships popping in and out now. This new uranium processing station is hip. It's happening. It's the place all the cool ships want to hang out. And it's generating so much electricity. Oh wow. Look, that's our carbon production right now, 200,000. At peak, our carbon was generating like 700,000. But we're generating a massive portion now just from uranium. And we've even got storage filled up, so we're generating in excess because we caught up on everything. This is great. Uranium research is absolutely the thing you want to do if you want to generate power in this game. Plus it's green. I just figured I'd mention that. All radioactive stuff is normally, by tradition, green. I don't know, just thought that was important. This place wants hydrogen. It does, but we are short. Okay. To be honest, I've been looking around a little bit. I've got 290,000 experience to spend. I think the main thing I want to spend it on is actually... Well, I was going to say jump speed, but that's energy cost. That's not a concern. I don't think there was anything to improve jump speed. Okay, I don't think there's any toys we can grab which will improve our currently planned hostile ships. So, yeah, we're going to leave that research sitting, I suppose. In the meantime, though, I did prototype an alternate pattern for a stamper setup. This has got 8 machines built into it rather than 3 like this one. And it doesn't try to use a single condense supply line, which is, I think, overdoing it slightly for these things. But I've prototyped this thing to supply this stuff, iron nickel composite, to the colony that needs it, and that's on the uranium station actually. So, see here, got it working. It does its thing. Now I'm copying it back over here for Ferro-Titan, since that's what we decided to build our first combat ship out of. I also reconfigured Big Boss Constructron to take titanium plate, glass, and Ferro-Titan rather than its original mix of composites. So this is all good. This ship will be able to use it immediately as soon as it gets built. Now we just have to get it running. That's all we need. Titanium and iron. There's no real demands for titanium really, so let's... this is a very important line. And the other one is iron, which is... let's pull from... Actually no, iron is already being supplied to this place. You know, let's get an additional import line for iron, just to make sure. And that should get this place operational real soon. Are you jammed? The ship might be jammed. I think that's one drawback of the over-engineering of the big boss Constructors-Tron. It literally can get jammed if you're not careful. Oh, that's why. When I had that massive power crash, it crashed all of my ships. So a lot of my ships aren't actually doing anything. And that's important. I need to go and fix that sharpish. I wondered why my throughput was lagging a bit. Now I know. See, there it goes. We have got ourselves a supply of Ferro-Titan. Da-da-da-da. And we are good to go. We've got everything we want, everything we need. All our techs, all our toys, our ammunition supplies are good. Let us begin with our new thing. So, build a new ship core. Build it here. And this is going to be... Shit. I have no idea why. Oh, I think I hit a hotkey by accident or something. Right, warship prototype. So, things we need to bear in mind when building our warship. Things go boom. Yeah, I know, that's very insightful of me, that is, isn't it? Yes, things go boom. Prototype composite, yes. And you need to be aware of that. The main things that go boom tend to be ammunition supplies, actually. So watch your ammo. They need to protect it. If they get hit, they will detonate things nearby. So that's something we're concerned about. It also applies to batteries. Batteries can detonate as well. They don't really go beyond the tar they're in much. They damage the walls around them. They don't knock them down. But they will chain react to adjacent batteries. And this is true for tier 1s and 2s. I don't know about tier 3s. I've never seen a tier 3 get shot before. So, yeah. First things first, though. We must decide on where we want to put our guns. So, we got 2 techs. We've maxed out missile tech and railgun tech. Missiles are a very useful thing to have. Let's just pop one. I guess let's go back here. I'm trying to make sure there's space for armoring and things like that. And the third one in the middle here. So I'll do that. And then I will actually have a pair of railgun turrets as well to exploit the weaknesses of what might be happening regarding that. So, a couple there. I've left space for 2 gaps of things just to make sure. So, there's a layer of 2 walls between anything that might detonate on me. I'm also not going for a centralized ammo system because if you do that and you lose your central ammo storage, then all your guns will go down. The AI does it by having local ammunition storage for everything, so that's what I'm going to emulate here. Let's put one there. One there, one there. Good. Next up, I guess, is we'll talk about weapon profiles. I mentioned this in the first video. I'm going to mention it again for posterity because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. Ish. I'm going to tell it to load nukes into the missile launchers and gold titanium shells into those. Right. So, damage profiles. Railguns and rockets you get very early on. Rockets blow up all wall tiers, tier 1, 2 and 3. So they impact on any part of the ship, they go boom. So, and then it blasts the AoE around it, so that is how they work, and it's actually best countered by spaced armor rather than actually armor that's resistant to explosive. Spaced armor is your best friend versus missile strikes overall. I'm just putting in a double layer around everything. Just to make sure that I've got that basic... This is technically my inner hull, I guess you could say. Though, to be honest, I don't think there's any hit point difference between different layers, different shapes. So one wall segment is, I think, about the same as a 3 wall segment. Words. So no real advantage there. But I'm guessing lasers, but railguns in particular do impact only on level 2 and level 3. So level 1. You know what? I should stop trying to say this and just get this thing built and then talk about it, because both my building and my explanations, I feel like they've gone off the rails a tiny bit. I know what I'm doing. Burble, incoherent. Haha! And you two are now the master. Okay, this is either going to be really smart or really stupid. So, what I was saying before, missiles fly in, they hit any size of wall, AoE blast around them. You can make them a lot less effective by putting in like spaces in your armor and that kind of thing. So, you know, be aware of that one. Railguns, they hit 2 or 3 high. They actually ignore 1 high, so like low floors they leave intact. But they try and punch through along their length based on the shell strength. So they cause long furrows deep into the enemy armor plating and stuff like that. Lasers, I don't really know because I've not really seen them in action. But they are far harder to get access to than missiles and railguns, because missiles and railguns you can get basically from the word go. Lasers, you have to unlock a bunch of stuff before you can get it. And so, yeah. Like, this 2-meter plate is not going to resist a railgun round very effectively at all. It needs more reinforcement. Even though it's got level 2 kinetic resistance, we're going to see how good that is, I suppose. But 2 meters versus railguns, you kind of want more than that to stop a railgun shell reliably. You need very thick plating if you can get away with it. Now, last thing of note is... I had a brainwave. Yeah, I know. I'm actually thinking, oh god. That is a ship that has jumped into combat and been damaged. An automated construction ship, like Big Boss Construction here, will jump in if the sector's safe to conduct repairs. But what happens if the combat ship itself has a repair mechanism on board and a storage for materials? What happens then? Well, I don't want to waste a turret slot on this, so I've not built a building turret. Instead, I've built robot docks, and I've given it enough materials to... so, I'm going to use that as an extra because robots, you know... What are you doing? Why can't you build that? Missile launcher is made of iron composite. Really? It is. Ha! And there is iron copper composite over there, but Big Boss Construction isn't configured to actually take that. Interesting. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. That's. I should have probably had a look at that and noticed it before, but I didn't. Oh well. Anyway, now I need to get Big Boss Construction to actually have iron copper composite somewhere on it. What's its build space? It's 999. Okay, there's no room for extra stuff. So instead, let's do this. That's at height 2 already. Good. Let's get some height 1 stuff. Just jam it in somewhere. Let's do it here, I suppose. And just add a new zone for iron copper, because that is actually unexpected, but it'll let the robots at the very least do something about it. Very limited, but it will let me actually do that, because that's a material I don't really need. I wasn't expecting that. But anyway, yeah. Core of the ship. It's kind of spaced out, so hopefully it won't just chain detonate itself. Gotta be aware of that. And then we're going to add some armor plating as soon as this big boss has finished buzzing around building it, because it needs a fair bit of material for each launcher, it seems. It keeps having to go and restock itself. There we go. Okay, right. Move you aside, and let's get some more plating on this thing. Ideally, as much plating as we can. And so we run into a slight problem. More internal space, more weapon systems, more blocks towards the block count limit. Something I forgot to keep in mind. Look at those beams though, just sweeping across it, building that outer layer of armour. That said though, this thing does still compare favourably, there's the word, to craft fielded by the AI system. So if we have a look, this ship has got a massive hammerhead prow on it, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks thick, but it's only 2 blocks thick on the sides of it, so that's something. Same things, same thing, so that's all green stuff. Yellow, let's find a yellow combat ship, here we go, yellow. Spaced armour here, so resistant to missiles in the front, and then it's got thicker armour on the sides, but also mostly still lower tier than my stuff. Station is just like got some spacing and stuff, yep. And oh, here's a big one. A bit of spacing on the front, something that's on the sides, but again, relatively thin armour plating, kind of like the same tier as my stuff, though this is built slightly different. Then if we look at the ship's red's got less weaponry, but it's got thicker overall armour. Something worth noting there. Also is using missile tech, so level 1 stuff will block it. Sorry, height 1 walls, though of course height 1, 2 or 3 doesn't matter on the block count for the ship itself. Something else to bear in mind. Yes. Anyway, moving on. I have to find my ship again. Where was it? It is at the uranium planet, it should be. No, wait, no, it's at the processing plant. There it is, right. So, I have done something slightly cheeky here, which is I have mixed my weaponry types, as well as having 5 turrets. So, as you can see, we've got a pair of railguns, treble rockets, which I need to get ammunition for. So, you could be cheeky in your ship construction and mix your armour types up as well. Mesh different blocks and armour together. You can actually do that to improvise your own layered composite armour with just the basic block types. But the actual composite blocks themselves offer much better resistances anyway, so no reason why you'd really do that with the basic blocks. Except for maybe glass? I mean, glass has got that 1 to laser, but titanium has still got that 1 to everything. So there's not really much point in it. Composites are the way to go. Anyway, let's get ourselves some ammunition, shall we? Which should be just sitting there waiting for us. Okay, here we go. This is meant to be nuclear torpedo production. Apparently I didn't correct that. So yeah, nuclear torpedoes will be ready in a minute. Hits fast forward. What are you short on? Hydrogen. Iron nickel. We are not actually supplying iron nickel to hydrogen from there, so let's go ahead and give that a bump. So that should help with the production rates, but got to bear in mind more limited ammo because we've got just the smaller storage types. So that's 300 ammo I can take there. This thing has not enough. Okay, I apparently need to wait for that. We will, however, grab the other ammunition type. Oh, they're not making that yet either. Oh, because I never set the trade routes up. Right. Trade routes strike again. Okay, let's get that sorted out. There we go. Nuclear torpedoes. Actually, no, I should use that cell function, shouldn't I? Gotta remember that. It's actually quite useful. But here we go. Right, almost there. I keep forgetting to add hatches. Hopefully that'll get changed as well. Because hatches are honestly a bit fiddly to install at the moment. I've said it before, I'll say it again. They are a bit fiddly to install. And I still don't know if there's actually any benefit to doing so, I must admit. But I'll install them on the off chance that there is some benefit to them. But I don't think there is. Because the resistance seems to be down to the base parts, and as I said, I don't think there's any hit point difference between different heights of walls either. Anyway, right, moving on. Moving on. This is going to be a slightly long episode. Yes, but explosions! And that is my sum argument. There you go. Right, explosions! We're going to test drive this thing. We must save this thing first, though. Manage. Save as new blueprint. Warship prototype. Okay. So we can rebuild this thing fine if things go belly up. Now let's check, see who's closest to... Ooh! We're almost at war with green. In that case, let's go murder green. I think that sounds like a plan. 1 ship, 2 ships, 3 ships, 1 ship. Okay. Let's go here then. Oh, Mr. Warship. There's no need to declare war formally or anything like that at the moment. That might happen in the future. But let's get in there and do the thingy. Here we are. Dramatic music. See, he's already firing. And very little damage. He has electric shells, which is 8 damage, and yet, yeah, the resistance is no joke. These are only tier 2 walls, and I barely lost anything. Anyway, what I am going to do though is I am going to tactically jump. So local jump. I forget how to flip the thing. Ah, press R to rotate. Okay, so tactical jump over here. This is why I was looking for hyperspace research earlier to try and boost that, because jumping around to get positional advantage is something you should be doing. But look at the debris there, though. Very nice. Anyway, I'm going to tell you to blow that section up. Our weaponry is turning. I think we're going to win this one. Now, the block it's targeted may be dead, but it keeps firing at the same point, so let's just realign it. It's trying to chip away at us, but it's not doing anything. Robots aren't doing anything though, so... Those nukes are no joke, jeez. Look at that. See what I mean about batteries chain combusting? But this is a very dangerous warship we've got here. There we go. That's blown up. I mentioned it back when we were first starting, but as long as there's weapons on a ship, the core itself is indestructible. However, I think that's the same for a combat station, but on a industrial station that doesn't apply. Local jump. Get it down here. Okay. And just blow it to pieces. And there we go. Music switched back to normal. Let's check our thing. We aren't officially at war, so hopefully this new patch will do something about that. That's jumped in. Our bots aren't automatically trying to repair this stuff though, so I think maybe it needs an auto logic or something. But yeah, that is a copper colony that we've got here. We can colonize it if we take it over. I was just looking, but apparently it's, well, it's still owned by green technically, but I can claim it now. But let's go ahead and push onwards. more destruction awaits. They're kind of brutal, honestly. You're also struggling to see the effects of the railguns because of that, but because the missiles are just coming behind it. But that's kind of... Actually, no, that's the opposite of what I intended. I wanted rockets first, then the railgun shells. Because then railguns blow things apart, and the rockets blow things apart, then the railguns pop in afterwards to do nasty things to it. At least that was my plan, but apparently I built it backwards as I was going... Oh, speaking of backwards... I need to... Actually, no, I don't need to. Actually, this is a poor firing angle. I do need to adjust myself. I keep hitting jump to sector by reflex. But yeah, you saw there, one shell just like dug a tunnel straight into that strut there. And this section has got some chunks blown into it as well from hits, so that's kind of how railguns work, but my resistance is a bit high, so it's struggling to do much. Okay, I'll let Big Boss patch me up. There we go. And keep on pushing and pushing it, because we're being utter buggers, and going to say hi to Green for all the things. 2 stations, 2 warships, 1 station. I think I need my eyes checked, jeez. And let's try firing from this angle behind at there. Because the angle's kind of bad here, so I'm at longer range, so my accuracy is suffering. But I am blowing massive chunks out of the ship regardless. Yeah, look at that. One long streak hit the ammo storage. Oh, the other ship jumped behind us. Cheeky. But I did say it kind of does that, so... Local jump. Actually, you know what? Let's be cheeky back. Let's say, okay, sure. Let's see how quickly we can chew through this entire ship. Yeah, having the... We want the missiles to hit before the rail shots, but the problem is the rail shots are a lot faster. Oops, there goes a massive chunk of it. There goes another massive chunk of it. Maybe the thing being pure nuclear missiles would have been a good idea. Oh, or pure railgun. Hey, it's dead, you can stop shooting. And caught it immediately. Okay, so yeah. That is basically how combat goes in this game right now. Hi boss, fix me up please. But this is all, I must be honest, this is my first time playing around with tier 2 materials, and it's no joke the upgrade it gives you. It makes me sure to think what tier 3 materials do. Ammo stores, absolutely fine, so as long as Big Boss keeps following us to repair us, it doesn't really matter too much, does it? Okay, so we've got a bigger enemy ship here, with tier 2 armor on it as well. Vulnerable to explosives though. We can play with that. And we've got a bigger processing station as well. I'm going to say local jump to here. Are you still using the same electric shells? You are still using the same electric shells. But we're going to be very cheeky here and say, here, you've got a neck. Let's blow it to pieces. Because separate it from the core, and it'll do fine. Oh yeah, look at that. Already massively increased resistance, but there's only one block holding the ship together now. There it goes. Cut the nose off it. And let's do this. Well, you're trying to pummel that. Let's get the kill shot on this guy. Thank you. Adjust. And then behead. As a note, by the way, beheading with a pure railgun ship wouldn't work because the railguns don't do damage to layer 1. Oh, look at that. We actually took some serious damage there. Something got through. I think it touched off the ammo, which in response touched off the missile turrets. So that was a sympathetic detonation there. You can see because it's like gutted that entire area. But the rest of the ship is still standing, so that's what's important. But yeah, there we go. Station dead. My ship needs extensive repairs and also needs to rearm because of its decentralized ammo storage. It's kind of silly that the AI doesn't really respond to this, but gotta remember this game is still early access after all. Oh wait, I know why. I think I know why. Yeah, let's build. Let's build a... Of course the bots aren't going to do anything. Because I don't have a resource zone for them to grab some materials out of. Of course. Of course! It's so obvious! And yet I forget it so often. Right. We do need to respawn on nuclear missiles though, unfortunately. Because of our decentralized ammo, so... That's easy. Let's jump it out to here. And this will be our final battle for this mission because, of course, we are over time. This is an extra length episode and all that jazz. Make sure everything's up to stock. Jolly good. And let's go ahead and clear another place. So, we found ourselves a nickel... Found a nickel planet, we found a copper planet. Let's go and check this place out. So they are doing fun things. I am going to say... boom. Now the bots are still not doing in-combat repairs. Now, what I did there was... Oh, hello. As soon as I jumped in, the bots are doing something. What are they doing? Okay, they are actually doing repair work. Mid-combat. Good little bots. Daddy's proud of you. But that seemed to only trigger once I did a local jump, though. Oh, it's actually reverted to its previous blueprint. So, because of the changes, it actually gets reverted. Right, noted. I need a pneumo tube, which will pop out and take in from there. I need a zone for Ferro Titan. And I'm going to save the blueprint because that's probably something I need to do. Back, manage, update linked blueprint. There it is. Update the blueprint? Yes. So there we go, that's been adjusted now so that it has that repair material stash And we'll do one more just in case. Oh, is that... That is an oil colony. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and knock this place over. Hello. Ooh, civilian ship. Can we get it? Yep. No problem. Also, this station does have some armoring, but it's not got any weaponry, so it's not really a concern. Also, the bots were active as soon as the ship got damaged as well. Before I did that micro jump. So yeah. Bots in combat repair works. Useful to know. And it lets you actually, it gives a much needed use for the bots, because the bots have actually been lacking use with the construction beams. That was my feeling. Because the bots can stick in to increase your building rate in theory, but on big building projects the beams are just flat out more effective. But these are a nice addition to my combat ship. I like it. But until then, next time though, this is probably near to a double-length episode, jeez. This has been iMark3, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll catch you all some other time. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, whichever you like. Or don't, it is up to you. Wow, that got depressing fast. But yeah, see you all later. Oh, that's double width, I only need single width on that. Whoops. This design needs improvement. A bit more spacing is probably a good idea.